Alright, what's going on, you guys? Bobeast here, and today we're gonna be comparing the Eisendrack lightning bow to the lightning crossbow in Rave in the Redwoods. Now, this is an interesting matchup because both of these wonder weapons have the same ability, but today we're gonna be going over how each of them look, how each of them perform, how long it takes to get one of these wonder weapons. So before we get started, if any of you guys are new to this channel, make sure you leave a like and subscribe because you guys don't want to miss out on more awesome zombies content on this channel. The first category we're going to be looking at is aesthetics. What aesthetics means is how good looking something is. In my opinion, the bow and arrow from Eisendrack is very good looking. I like how there's an electrical effect to it. I like how when you charge up a shot for the bow and arrow, it makes a cool electrical effect on the tip of the arrow, and it just looks pretty awesome overall. Alright, so now let's move on to the crossbow from Rave in the Redwoods. In my opinion, this crossbow is pretty good looking too, but it's not as good looking as the bow and arrow from Eisendrack. And the reason is because the bow and arrow from Eisendrack has all these cool effects on it, like electricity, and when you charge up the shot, there's electricity coming out of the tip of the arrow. But for the bow and arrow from Rave in the Redwoods, there's no cool effects on it. The camo on this crossbow does look pretty awesome, you guys. It has a green and blue effect to it, and I like that. And the camo is moving too. The camo has some motion on it too, but it still doesn't match up to the bow and arrow from Eisendrack because it doesn't have any cool effects on it, like I said before. And that's the biggest problem on the camo for the crossbow. So the bow and arrow from Eisendrack wins this one because it's more unique, it's more creative, and overall it's just better looking from the crossbow from Rave in the Redwoods. Now we're gonna look at how long it takes to get each one of these wonder weapons. So for the bow and arrow from Eisendrack, you have to go through a lot of steps in order to get this wonder weapon. First you have to feed the dragons, then you have to get the wrath of the ancients, then you have to go through a lot more in order to get this bow and arrow. But it's pretty easy to get the bow and arrow from Eisendrack. It's not that hard to get. The Easter egg is pretty easy in order to get this bow, but it just takes way too long in my opinion. The bow and arrow from Eisendrack requires way too much time. The Easter egg steps are very long, and overall it's just a slow and boring process in order to make this bow and arrow. But once you get this bow and arrow, it's worth it. Now moving on to the crossbows from Rave in the Redwoods. Making this crossbow is very easy. These Easter egg steps are very simple. The crossbow from Rave in the Redwoods wins in this category because it requires less time to make, and the Easter egg steps are very easy and simple to follow. Now moving on to the next category, which is effectiveness. How effective are these wonder weapons and which wonder weapon is more effective than the other? Now beginning with the bow and arrow, it has 75 arrows, which is a lot of arrows, and a shot lasts a long time. So when you guys shoot an arrow, the ability of that arrow lasts a very long time. And the ability of this bow and arrow is it creates a tornado, and the tornado has lightning inside of it, and it lifts the zombies into the air and it kills the zombies. This bow and arrow is best with alchemical antithesis. So when you guys activate alchemical antithesis, you guys can get all of your arrows back if you guys are low on arrows. This is arguably the best bow and arrow in the entire map. It is better than any other bow and arrow. Now moving on to the crossbow from Rave in the Redwoods. It has 20 arrows and it has 1 arrow in each magazine, and it causes a lightning strike when you shoot an arrow at the zombies. This crossbow is very good if you guys are cornered. So if you guys are in a narrow path, you guys can shoot this arrow and it'll clear up the path so you guys can keep on moving forward. Unfortunately, it is not the best crossbow on the map. There are other crossbows that are better than this one. So overall, at the end, the bow and arrow from Eisendrack wins in the category in effectiveness, and it won in the category of aesthetics. The crossbow from Rave in the Redwoods won in the category of time, so how long it takes in order to make one of these wonder weapons. Now in the end, the bow and arrow from the Eisendrack is a better wonder weapon, and that's because it's very powerful and it lasts a very long time. The reason why the crossbow from Rave in the Redwoods didn't win is because one of the shots is not that powerful. It's powerful, but it's not powerful enough to kill a lot of zombies. And it only has 20 arrows, so you guys run out of arrows very fast. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. This is Bobeast. Peace, guys.